Well, howdy all you happy campers. This is Hunter Pruitt, otherwise known as the RV Hunter, down here at McClain's RV in Sanger, Texas. And we're celebrating something awesome. 60 years of being family owned, and to celebrate and kick that off, Grand Design, who we've been with since their inception, has released for us a brand new 60th anniversary edition. And this is it. It's offered in two different floor plans, and we're standing in front of the newest 2023 Grand Design Solitude 390RK McClain's Special 60th Anniversary Edition. Again, here at McClain's RV in Sanger, this is Texas's largest sales and service center, and we're actually back at our awesome KOA campground where we can provide a phenomenal buying experience no matter where you're coming from across the country. But we're in front of this Grand Design Solitude, and I want to give you the RV Hunter scouting report on just the 390RK floor plan to kick it off, and then we'll kind of dive into what's going on under the hood. But this camper overall is right at 41 feet 5 inches, about 13 feet 5 inches in overall height, including the ACs. You do have 3 ACs on this bad boy. All 3 are 15K BTUs, and we'll get into that on the inside. But in terms of the overall width, this is one of the only 101-inch wide chassis with the 12-inch main frame and a 10-inch drop frame that we'll get into. But the overall width, whenever you have the slides out, is actually 14.5 feet. 14 feet 6 inches in overall width. Now the tank sizes are enormous on this guy. You're talking 81 gallons of fresh water, 106 gallons of gray, and 53 gallons of black water. And so you can go completely off grid, because again, this is one of only 3 brands in the entire industry that's rated, warranted, and insulated to be lived in full time. In regards to insulation, we have R45 insulation in the subfloor, R40 in the roof and the front cap, and R11 in the sides and the slide walls and the rear walls. Now, in terms of the 60th anniversary edition, we got a lot of stuff going on. This is a McClain's only exclusive paint job on the outside. Full body paint included with this awesome red, white, and blue look. We're super patriotic, love supporting the families that have served our country, but we want to serve you by providing the sharpest looking camper on the road with this full body paint. But also, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Grand Design already, on their newest 2023 models, are including 2 330 watt solar panels for a total of 660 watts. But Grand Design's helping us take it even a step up above. This is gonna have 3 330 watt solar panels for a total of almost 1,000 watts of solar. But y'all know as well as I do that solar is only as good as your battery bank. And so we are including on this 60th anniversary edition lithium battery as well. Now also, we'll go and open up the underneath storage compartment here. It is gonna come generator prepped as well. Reason why we didn't include the generator on any Solitude and most fifth wheels outside of toy haulers, it can only be added with a propane generator. Some people don't want that. There's pros and cons between the propane and the gas generators that we can dive into, but some people would prefer to use that space to go above and beyond that and add more lithium batteries there. So we're just prepping it so that you can customize it however you'd like to fit your lifestyle. Now, closing that off, we're going to get into some of the other things here, but the other component that makes it the 60th anniversary edition that a lot of you are seeking out but would take months and months to custom order, and is the Mor-Ryde 8K axles with independent ISR suspension. That is incredible with a camper that this one weighs, and I didn't mention in the scouting report, that it's about 14,500 pounds as it sits here, 16,800 pounds gross weight overall. And you're talking right about a 2,600 pound hitch weight, depending on if you have a washer dryer up in the front nose once we get into the front cap there. But in terms of the actual braking, this is also going to have the disc brakes on it. All 2023 Grand Design Solitudes are going to have ABS brakes, but this is taking it a step further because we're throwing the kitchen sink at it, literally, especially with this rear kitchen model, in that it has the 8K axles with the ISR independent suspension and the disc brakes, which that's awesome because they're already coming in. Obviously, they're on the ground. You don't have to wait. You can get a fully loaded, every check mark hit, full body paint Solitude without even having to wait. But let's get into some of the actual compartments here. You have an incredible pass-through storage compartment underneath. It, of course, has your central vacuum here. Comes with a hose that'll reach from tip to tip. Motion sense lighting underneath. We can install a TV that comes out on a swivel mount here, solar controller, and then under here, this compartment can actually open up to give you access behind the Nautilus system that we'll peek at on the other side. But this is going to make it to where you full-timers who are self-sufficient can operate on almost anything in this coach. And Grand Design is now taking it a step further. Y'all know that you can take it to any Grand Design dealer across the country. We'd prefer to offer service at one of our 20 service bays here in Sanger. But Grand Design is actually now doing a mobile app where they'll connect directly with you to do troubleshooting, can drop ship parts directly to you, or if you have a trip ending issue that you can't figure out where the jacks won't come up, the slides won't come in, they're sending a mobile tech to you. But now on this model here, like all Grand Design Solitudes, you can actually see the forced heat duct down there that actually keeps this whole area heated to where it's truly 4 seasons rated, and that combined with the R45 insulation is just going to be top notch. This subfloor here is actually got a 25-year warranty on it because it's marine grade decking. It's not just 5/8 inch tongue and groove plywood. It won't wick water whatsoever, and so they provide a 25-year warranty on it. While we're talking about warranties, it has a 1-year hitch to bumper, a 3-year structural, 5 years on the axles, wheels, and tires. You do have Cooper H-rated tires that we'll get back to. And then also the full body paint, the decals that are on most Solitudes have a 5-year warranty, but this gorgeous full body paint has a 2-year warranty, and then you have an 18-year warranty on the roof membrane as well. So all encompassing, and again, none of that warranty will be voided if you are using it for full-time use. Have the hydraulic leveling system, 2 30-pound propane tanks that are balanced on either side to where, and the regulator is on the other side. Very easy to change out, very convenient there. A spray port so that whenever you're connected here, you can hose off your steps, hose off your shoes before going inside. As we come around to this back portion, you see those Cooper H-rated tires that I mentioned. But the independent suspension, you're going to say, Hunter, where's the shackles at? The Mor-Ryde CRE 3000 isn't there. And that's because, again, this does have that independent suspension. The ride is going to be phenomenal. That paired with the Mor-Ryde pin box that we'll get to on the front with the rubber shear springs. This camper being 16,800 pounds, you could safely and comfortably pull this even with a 3/4 ton truck. You don't need to step up to the 1-ton series. Now, outlets over here, you do have amazing storage if that front area wasn't enough. This is going to keep you full-timers from having to have additional cost with a storage shed. Full Mor-Ryde pull-out tray. And there are a few other manufacturers that are doing this, but you're not going to notice this amount of structure underneath, full usable space. They do a better job at Grand Design utilizing this space than really any other. You also have a 3,500 pound rear receiver hitch here to where if you want to bring along bikes. And tandem pulling, if you're brave, you can do, again, 3,500 pounds, but a 350 pound hitch weight there with the 4-pin receiver. It is already prepped for the backup camera, and our parts department would be more than happy to also add side cameras and a door view camera that can also be doubled as a security system as well if we rig it with the clearance lights. Now, as we go underneath here, all these again are gas assisted, hold themselves open. And then this, first off, you notice that this area has its own forced heat duct as well, right there. Gray tank pull for the rear kitchen. But this cord reel, it's a slightly redesigned, a little bit shorter profile than some of the 2022 and earlier models. But if you've ever tried to store your 50 amp power cord or roll it up, especially in cold weather, you're gonna really appreciate that. And then when you're ready to unspool it, you just hit that switch and it'll spool real easy. You do have and the slide override control there. Again, they really are trying to accommodate you full-timers, not make it to where you have to bring it in to a service location. You can work on it yourself. But in terms of the slides, again, R11 insulation in these slide walls. You look underneath the slides here, you're not seeing any plastic rollers, a plastic sheet underneath that's gonna get bound up over time. This is a solid camper that, again, is made to be lived in. And if you're just camping in this, you're gonna be rolling in style and have a very comfortable ride. As we go up to the front, you're gonna notice something also a little bit different. If you followed our Grand Design Solitude videos, they are now answering the call. A lot of y'all have requested a tankless water heater, and they're giving it to you now. This tankless water heater is incredibly efficient. It can do 144 gallons of hot water an hour. which is one heck of a shower. Now, you did, hypothetically, run the 144 gallons of hot water, your gray water tank would almost hold it. You got 106 gallons down there, but it would only consume 1 gallon of propane, which is awesome. Your furnace exhaust here, the 50 amp power cord, but even the J-wrap is painted all the way around. Very sharp look. As we open up the Nautilus system, you're gonna notice that it is slightly different because of that tankless water heater. There are 2 less knobs on it, but again, one of the most simple, user-friendly systems in the industry. You do have an outside shower here, redundancy switch for your water pump, a inline water filter here, so every bit of water, whether or not it's coming into your fresh tank or you're running off of pressurized water, is going to be filtered. Your black and gray tank pull for the front bathroom is there, where again the gray tank pull for the kitchen was in the back. And then your low point drains, notice that they're actually inside this heated forced heat duct right there compartment. They're not exposed underneath to the elements, so even in the hottest or in the coldest climates, excuse me, you are not going to have to worry about any of your water freezing. And whenever we are talking about the forced heat duct, Grand Design also takes it a step further. They have thermostatically controlled 12-volt tank heaters that'll run off battery power, and that's going to be awesome for you. If you just leave it in storage, as long as you have battery power, you are not going to have any issues and have to lose sleep at night worrying that, hey, I left it in storage, but hopefully you're actually out there using this one. The last thing I didn't touch on as we look around the outside on this 60th anniversary edition, it already comes with slide toppers, which is a huge request. You're not gonna have to climb up on this 13.5 foot tall rig in order to keep any dirt and debris from getting inside those slides, extend the life, and then also keep snow from accumulating, being that this is a truly 4 seasons rated camper. Having it done that way from the factory actually saves you money, and it's already coming fully equipped, ready to hit the road. The other side here of the propane tank, I didn't mention, but the auto leveling control is right inside. These hydraulic auto leveling also have a memory sequence, of course, that it will remember the height it was at before you hit auto leveling, so that whenever you're ready to get hitched up again, you just press hitch height, the rear jacks are going to retract, and the front is going to come up to allow you to almost back up blindfolded and hit dead on to your 5th wheel hitch. But then the Mor-Ryde pin box that I was referencing up here, rubber shear springs that give you 3 inches of give are going to really help with the chucking. And then just look at that front cap. It is gorgeous, has little lights ran through it, and that white is just stunning. Very sharp camper, and this is a one-of-a-kind color scheme. If you are trying to order this color scheme from another dealer, they're not going to be able to provide it because, again, McClain's partnership with Grand Design, this is an exclusive to us. But in terms of some other exclusive goodies, let's go on inside and take a look. I have the main awning here that's, of course, going to keep the elements off of you when you're trying to get in and out. The awesome floodlight up above. This door has a nice magnetic hold. If you haven't seen the videos before, these are all gas assisted, not big heavy steps. Very easy to adjust, not having to pull out any difficult pins. And then you can add another grab handle here if you got bad knees like myself to get up in and out, in addition to this oversized grab handle. Now, right as soon as you come inside the door, we have the central vacuum, similar to what I mentioned in the outside storage area. Tons of storage that we'll get into as we go back up to the bedroom and bathroom. But I want y'all to get a feel of the namesake of this camper in the 390RK rear kitchen. This is the living room that most people are seeking out. You have the recliners, the dual opposing couches that, of course, full out into trifold beds that we'll get to. The awesome new mantle that they're doing. Grand Design is switching to this shiplap look, really listening to user feedback in terms of styling, making it light, bright, and open. No more of that teak wood. The faux fireplace, faux place I call it, is customizable in terms of the color that you want. And it is a 5,000 BTU heater. You don't want to use it in extreme cold. You want to be able to rely on the forced heat ducts to keep your tanks warm if the temperatures are really frigid. But this is going to really keep up and conserve your propane in most Texas climates in our winters. The nice mantle here, and then this flips right down. You do have the Rockford Fosgate sound system that really bumps. You got a 10-inch subwoofer that comes with it. You put your DVD player, game consoles, that sort of thing. It is coming with a TCL Roku TV. They matched it up in the front as well. And then you see that the heat ducts here, something that I always mention on Grand Designs, this is the only 5th wheel at the previous RV show that I saw that there are no floor vents, not only in the main area, But the elevated areas, both in the rear kitchen and up in the bedroom, no floor vents whatsoever. And that's just really nice if you're wanting to lay down the area rug, you're wanting to actually walk through here, you have pets that you don't want to have to worry about hair falling in. This is going to keep that from happening. Now, there are a few design tweaks besides just the shiplap on these newest 2023 models, and that is them actually framing out the entire window. It used to just be these top valances here, but now they're framing out the entire window, hiding that metal frame, making it really feel like a residential home. These shades, nice blackout roller shades, they are reflective on the back side. The windows are already tinted, but that additional reflection is going to really keep this camper comfortable. Tons of storage, and something that I wanted to point out early on in the video is that there are no longer catches. These are all magnetic now, and the feel, they're still solid. They're not coming open while you're going down the road, but much more reliable, not worrying about those little guides getting bound up, having to adjust them or anything like that. And tons of storage all the way across, solid wood cabinets, the nice glass inserts. And then they added additional little storage areas here on both sides. I know you don't buy a camper like you buy a car by counting cup holders, but they are still nice to have because you can comfortably entertain 6 in this area, and then we would go up into the kitchen. You have this awesome little buffet. I want to show you what the bed looks like made out. There is, by the way, on the 390RK, again, Grand Design being that manufacturer that is in tune with their customer, they are now offering a desk option for this other slide over here. And I've seen it. It is a genius concept for those of y'all who are work camping now on the road. You don't have to do your own modification. The bed's rail come right over. This flips down, and this as well. Makes for a very comfortable bed. Comfortable enough for 2 full-grown adults, certainly. And then you also notice, as I'm putting this back, no carpet in the slides. That's been something on Grand Designs for a little while now. But it just really, the less carpet that you have in a camper, the nicer you're going to be able to keep it. And that paired with the central vacuum, you going down to the beach, keep sand out, all that good stuff. Now, the recliners, some people are commenting, well, they don't massage and heat anymore. If you tried the old ones, the massage was like you left your phone buzzing in the compartment. And here in Texas, don't really use the heat very often, but I'll give you the visual. They have USB ports now, and these recliners, I'd argue, are almost more comfortable. The back and lumbar support there, and they go almost fully horizontal. And the positioning of the TV here, I almost won't get up. I want to be able to finish the video, so I'm not going to sit here for too long. But this is an extremely comfortable living room that's also, again, modular. You have the option, again, if you find and you want to take advantage of the 60th anniversary edition, our team is more than happy to help you remove that couch so that you can customize it, make it whatever you'd like. But this living room is really sought after, very similar to what you'd find in a 380FL. Now, them utilizing every square inch throughout this camper, a shoe storage underneath, nice solid handhold, windows everywhere. And something that I like to talk about on Grand Designs is how they actually frame these windows. Most manufacturers, people aren't aware that whenever you put in these windows, the good manufacturers will CNC route the hole, but Grand Design, and some hand route it, but Grand Design is one of the only that frame it out. Most of them just have bare fiberglass around the window frame, but this has an aluminum framing around every window, every door, and every baggage door, and then they seal it 4 times. First, they use Mylar tape that's got a 25-year life expectancy, good for negative 60 degrees up to 220. Then they use PVC foam tape, die-cut PVC, and then silicone. It is virtually impervious to water, and then also the way that they do their pin-trolled fiberglass, it's impossible for water intrusion to get here if it happens to. And you got the marine-grade decking, so you're not getting soft spots on the floor. But y'all know as well as I do, if you keep water from getting into your camper, you're going to make it last forever. But as we come up into the namesake of the floor plan, the 390RK, look at this kitchen. This is the 390RK kitchen. Have this awesome buffet that we'll get into, kind of touch on some of the 60th anniversary editions. We are now wanting to celebrate with you, welcome you into our family with us being a family-owned company, giving you t-shirts, rags, frisbee, beach ball, little carrying bag. You can't go camping without both coffee mugs and a whiskey glass. And there's this neat little pop-up lantern as well. That in addition to a 150 $50 Grand Design merchandise credit is going to be able to get you camping in style. In addition to that, here inside this camper, we are also doing a Frigidaire ice maker. It is going to make 28 pounds of ice over a 24-hour period. You might ask, why do I need that if I have the residential fridge? You can never have too much ice, and that's why we're giving you a whiskey glass. But this is just an additional nice feature that we're just including so that you can make it residential. Because also, if you get this 60th anniversary edition of the 380FL and you are cold weather camping, the ice line is exposed on the slide, and you need to turn it off if you are in frigid camping. That's one of the benefits of this 390RK, though. I'll show you before we get to the fridge that there is the cutoff for the ice maker. Because the fridge isn't on a slide, it's ran underneath. And so this is a little bit better 4 seasons rated in terms of being able to still use the ice maker in that cold season. But we'll start still over here. You have this awesome little hutch buffet. Holes here with tons of outlets, pull-out trays, and this is perfect for most families. This can be your work, desk space. You notice the heat duct down there, not in the floor. That even flow heat system does a better job of dispersing the heat. By the way, we have the ACs going, and you still have no problem hearing me. The ACs have that stealth AC system and the RV airflow system. That RV airflow system is basically a baffle up in there, big block of styrofoam that takes all of your air input, pushes it all through the ducts so you get 25% more airflow. But the actual ductwork itself, few people know that there's a lot of fifth wheels out there that don't have any ductwork up in the attic, so it has to cool the attic before it starts cooling down here. And then those ones that have ductwork, it looks like a dryer vent up there. This one here looks like a figure 8, big metal chutes that are going to do a much better job. And it's one of the only campers that first off has 3 ACs, and one of the only ones I know of that all 3 ACs are 15,000 BTUs, so you get 45,000 BTUs of air conditioning, which is going to really come in handy in our 110-degree summers that are looming. Very nice residential microwave. Some are asking why it's not convection, and you'll see as we spin around because you don't need convection when you've got the oven of this one. Great storage through here. And again, that's the big challenge when you're trying to go full-time or even camp for extended periods of time, is finding enough place for everything. I love these magnets, by the way. It just has such a nice tactile feel. Good window up here as well. Electric tower, USB ports, charging stations. Now we can get to the drawers, and something I always like to point out in the Solitude. Solid wood. Some people are asking why they're not soft close drawers. I'll tell you that the actual weight rating of soft close drawers aren't the same. These are 50-pound drawer guides with full extensions. You don't usually get that on soft close drawers, but I'll open up every one so that you can actually get a full feel of the amount of space here. Over the sink, tons of storage. You have your max air fan control and your rear AC control right there as well. As we talk about the sink, love having this window. Usually your most scenic view is out the back. Who doesn't want to wash dishes while you're just looking over a scenic campground? Now, Grand Design also, again, always listening to user feedback. Don't know about y'all, but I've always heard the debate of whether or not you want one deep stainless sink or a divided sink. They give you the best of both worlds with this little half divide. There are 2 different water settings here, and just very nice fixtures that you'd expect from GDRV. The storage underneath is just massive. Notice how all the plumbing is actually kept off and away, and what a concept, a place for your trash can. Go to the island real quick. This island is dishwasher prepped. You have another charging station right in the middle so that you can do a lot with this space. We have the box for the ice maker down there so that y'all can read up on how to use it, keep your owner's manual, and then a really deep drawer as well. Now, I'm excited about this fridge. It's coming from Furrion, and it is now a 20 cubic foot refrigerator. Previously, it was just 18. Some are only including 16s. This is 20. And now having 2 different freezer compartments. Again, there's a small ice maker drawer, but we feel like giving you the capacity to, if you're going to utilize that full living room, you're going to want to entertain. And entertaining there, move the sink so you can actually see the full drawer underneath. But if you're wanting to entertain, having as much ice as possible is going to be helpful. But this fridge, they say even on one solar panel, it only needs 30% of its charge to run all day long. And so now that it's got three 300-watt solar panels for almost 1,000 watts of solar, you're not going to have any problem keeping up with this, turning on all your lights, having your stereo going, charging your phones, because a lot of the USB plugs in this camper are inverted as well. But I alluded to this awesome 4-burner cooktop residential oven. For those of y'all full timing, and I don't know about full timing during the holidays, this one you can. You can cook your full Thanksgiving turkey in that guy. Tons of storage there, and then another side there. You do have the vent hood that is actually vented outside, and a nice little light underneath it as well. No shortage of outlets through this whole coach, and this would essentially be your pantry. I'm sure that's how most would use it. With these very nice solid drawers here. A lot of people get the foldable brooms. I see that you can get them on Amazon. This is the perfect place for it there, but again, you don't really need a broom if you've got the central vacuum and no carpet. And again, the magnetic shut, just a very nice feel. But how is this for a kitchen? Pretty awesome, right? But it doesn't really stop here. They threw the kitchen sink, and pun intended, in terms of the rest of the floor plan. Not only does this have one of the best kitchens, one of the best living rooms, but let's get on up to the bathroom and bedroom, because really, this design, it is not lacking in any way. And when we're talking about lacking additional storage, I'll touch on the storage first. This here is very nice. I always like to point out the fact that the fuse panel is accessible even when the slides are in. There are several manufacturers who don't think about that. You blow a fuse on one of your slides and the slides are in. How are you going to get to it to fix it? This, you don't have to worry about it. Storage up overhead. I'm going to talk about these monitor panels here in just a second when I point out this storage. But for your guests, it's awesome that you're able to give them more hanging space as well. But if you don't care about your non-paying guests, that's awesome for your coats, things as you're leaving out the door. Now, the LCI one-touch control panel, all app controlled. This is the hub of the entire camper. You control the lighting, the leveling, the slides, everything right from here, your voltage. And this you can also connect to on your phone. So if you want to set up camp on your own, you can be outside being your own spotter. If we're sitting outside and the wind picks up and I don't want to come running up the steps, pull out your phone, roll in the awning. It makes it awesome. But in low voltage situations, I will tell you that these touch panels will sometimes time out. You shouldn't have to worry about that when you have almost 1,000 watts of solar on this guy. But Grand Design's still thinking ahead. They do give you redundancy switches up top. Still control all 5 slides. The main awning, all of your tank heaters. I talked about those thermostatically controlled tank heaters, but by the way, they're not just on your fresh tank. They're also on your gray and your black tank. You have your porch and awning lights here as well. I'll turn on so that my friend Rick here can get some awesome B-roll footage so you can view through it, but also all of your tank monitors right here as well. And then if you did decide to install that generator, all the switches, the transfer switch, everything is all right there. But still, massive storage, because most of y'all that are stepping up to this level of camper are going to be living in it, and every square inch is going to be worth its weight in gold. Awesome window in this hallway so it doesn't feel claustrophobic. And then as we come through, I want Rick to show you that top closet as well before we jump right into the bathroom. But how's this for a bathroom? I mean, if you are full timing, you want to have the same feel that you'd have at home. 2 distinct sinks. The very first 390RKs, I remember back in 2020, didn't have any cabinets. Grand Design always listening. Gave you these medicine cabinets on either side. The backlit mirror. But I'll tell you, there's something else that they backlit on this model, and that's the shower. In terms of showers, this is about as good as it gets. The shower is slightly larger than a lot that you'll see, even on the Solitude line, but you have 4 shower heads that put off great pressure. When they first came out with this, they didn't have caddies, and they started giving you caddies because they listened. And the ladies were saying, hey, I have no place to shave their legs. Me with bad knees, hey, I want to sit down sometimes when I'm in the shower. This teak wood seat is very nice, but if you want a little bit more move around space, I mean, you can't ask for much better than this in a camper. You do, of course, have a porcelain toilet as you'd expect, but this is an area that's crucial that you want heated. You don't want to step out of the shower to cold floors, but you also don't want to have an accident, have little ones, and then have a nasty floor vent next to the toilet. Again, the even flow heat system's coming in crucial there. Now, underneath the sinks, massive storage. And then really, really deep drawers. I love that they were thoughtful about the size of the drawers in here. And this bottom one, because you know, ladies with their hair dryers, things like that, this is going to really come in handy. And then again, having a his and her side just provides a really nice feel. And then if we need to start stockpiling toilet paper again, places to hang up your towels, it's great for that. But Grand Design still thinks of that. They actually give you the ugly octopuses, I call them, but things on the wall to actually hang up your towels so you're not hanging command strips right off the bat. And then something else I love about Grand Design, there's so many campers that you walk into that just feel so claustrophobic. Trying to move through it, you have these doors that are swinging. This here, the nice pocket door, and this magnetic. It is going to have a really strong hold, and then a latch up top, of course, so that while you're going down the road, it doesn't turn into a battering ram. Now, let's jump into, I guess, what's remaining, and what is an incredible bedroom up here. I have the nice Roku Smart TV up top. This is the king bed option. The queen bed, we can modify it either way. If you wanted this particular model, we can always shorten it. Grand Design, by the way, though, makes it to where you might not have to worry about replacing the mattress, because they include a very nice one. They are gas-assisted struts as this lifts up. Some people ask about, well, where am I going to put my CPAP machine? I would like to keep a handgun beside the bed. I get it, we're in Texas. But here, you have the little side cubbies there underneath the bed platform. That's where a lot of my customers are putting it, especially since you have outlets very conveniently located right to your left. And then again, no floor vents anywhere, so that when you're getting up to use the restroom, you're not kicking your toe, ripping off a toenail. Plenty of storage there, and they've actually done a lot in terms of, this is something you wouldn't notice unless you're in these things every single day, but they're adding a little bit more framework around here. So when this slide comes in, it used to have a risk of, if you had small things in there, it could potentially fall down and get bound up in the slide. Not anymore. You'll notice that they got rid of the ottoman. That was because of user feedback. People wanted more drawers, and this is a great utilization of the space. And really, people thought that the ottoman was redundant. If you're going to sit on a short ottoman that's way down low, you might as well just sit on the edge of the bed to change your shoes, like so. It really makes no difference in terms of the ottoman. So I think that the drawers are a welcome change. In terms of the wardrobe, you know my line here. This is either the secret jewelry storage or for the AR or guns or whatever else you need. The framework around the windows, though, is just a really nice residential touch. It feels very comfortable in here. Tons of drawers all the way down. And then the closet, I've seen, and I think they've gone back, they used to be the washer-dryer connection. They went from this kind of arrangement to a center washer-dryer with a his and her side. I've seen recently that they're switching back to this. It's probably from them listening to users like yourself. But this is great for your washer-dryer. In terms of having a washer-dryer unit, I prefer the combo units. They do take a little bit longer to dry, but as long as you get a vented one, I like the convenience of pressing one button at the beginning of the day. It runs through its entire wash and dry cycle. But the stackable units, they take up some valuable space, and it's a little bit more hitch weight up there. But if you have a family and you're washing more than just the clothes for two people, then it's useful. But a lot of people just like, and especially if this is a couples camper, using that combo unit as a hamper essentially. Tons of outlets in there though. Again, there's no shortage anywhere. And then you can keep and rearrange those drawers. Now, this closet is one of the better that I've come across. They've now pushed back this upper lip here to where it is almost a full walk-in closet. These compartments are very helpful. Tons of hang-up space. Remember that that's coupled with what you have in the hallway. So this is going to be your main closed closet beyond what you have for foldable space, which again, there's tons of drawers, but your coats can stay out there. But the mirror is really helpful in terms of making what is a little bit smaller space feel that much larger. And then you notice all the framework. I love having a bed slide camper. You can open up the windows, get a good cross breeze going, but even that little touch of the window above the bed, it's going to let in a lot of nice natural light. And so you can capture all the views all the way around the camper. There are very few dead spaces in terms of places that you can't see outside. Pretty much just the bathroom, but that's for obvious reasons. But that's the majority of this floor plan, y'all. Again, here at McClain's RV, we have 5 locations conveniently located across the state of Texas and Oklahoma. We have Denton, Fort Worth, Rockwall, here in Sanger, and then our Oklahoma City store as well. We've been in business now 60 years, started in 1963, and the son of the original founder is still the owner of the company, one of the most hands-on owners, down-to-earth, God-fearing man that really has a heart for people. And you can see that through all of our associates. This 60th anniversary edition, there is a limited supply of. We're doing it on the 380 FL front living model, and again, this 390RK rear kitchen. And so make sure that you get your hands on them, because these are on the ground, ready and available, and typically the build time on something like this is going to take upwards of 20 to sometimes 30 weeks, especially if you're doing the Mor-Ryde independent suspension, if you're doing the full body paint, putting on the slide toppers, and then all the other little goodies that we're sprinkling on top, making you part of the McClain's family, making sure you're rolling around with some Grand Design swag, the lithium batteries, and the 300-watt solar panels. I mean, we're just taking it to the max. But that's what you need if you're living in it. And this is a camper that's really going to stand out. But we try to stand out also, not just at the point of sale, connecting to you, having some of the best sales representatives across the country that have a heart for custom tailoring the right model for you, but afterwards, at the point of sale. A lot of our locations right now are averaging less than a 2-week lead time on all service issues. I have great people that have a heart for making sure that you're staying on the road, but it's because of the brands that we carry also, that we partner with, that provide that better level of experience for you. Grand Design's parts and distribution channels are phenomenal, but we also carry Winnebago's, KZ, Gretsch, Renegade, a whole lineup of the most premier brands that we found over our 60-year history that provide the best experience for you after the sale. And then a lot of our locations have campsites similar to our KOA. Now this KOA is phenomenal. We have concrete pull-through sites. But for those of you who need to worry about trading in your full-time unit that you're already staying in, how am I going to transition all my stuff? We've got you covered here. We'll get you parked up for a night, side by side, allow you to move everything from one end to the other. But first we got to find the right camper for you. And that's where you partnering with a salesperson that you trust. Please reach out to anybody across our 5 locations. Again, my name is Hunter Pruitt, otherwise known as the RV Hunter, really known as kind of our Grand Design product specialist. And that's why I wanted to jump right into the 60th anniversary model. But I really hope that y'all enjoyed this walkthrough. Would love your feedback on what you think about the color scheme and all the little add-ons, and then come down and see it in person, because I'll tell you that the color scheme and the size of this unit just feels so much better in person than it does over a video. But we appreciate you engaging, tuning in, and providing that feedback. And until next time, y'all stay happy camping. Take care.